If you have weight to lose and are wondering how to get started with calisthenics, then this video is for you. My name is Nicholas and I'm the founder of Online Calisthenics. And today we're going to talk about how to get started with calisthenics if you are overweight. I've sometimes heard people say, I think I need to lose weight before I can get started with calisthenics. And that's because people think they need to be able to do an amazing pull-up, to do an amazing push-up, and to do amazing superhuman movements right away. But that's really not the case. Actually, it's the opposite. When you start and you do calisthenics, this will make you lose weight. You'll become stronger and you'll be able to achieve a lot of harder moves that you once thought that was impossible. For example, check out my client's Anatol's transformation. From calisthenics beginner to achieving the muscle up within 2 years. That was amazing to witness, and he made a transformation that is long lasting up to this day. So if you're a beginner and or you need to lose weight, here are some very useful substitutions for the movement you may not be able to do yet. Let's start with the humble push-ups. If you can't do a real push-up yet, it's all good. Start in a plank. And from there, you try to do a negative repetition down, reach the chest to the floor, bring your knees to the floor, and then push back and go from there. Repeat that until you can get a real push-up. And if you can't do that yet, it's all good. You can just stay upright and do a push-up against the wall or a higher bar. Try to stay on your tiptoe when you do that. Bring your core in. Make sure that your whole body is tight and get started with the push-ups against the wall. That would be a great alternative to get started. And once you do that, you move on to the knee push-up. Now let's talk about pull-ups. Pull-ups are hard. They're hard for everyone. Even people that don't need to lose weight are having a hard time starting the pull-ups. So you are not alone. So if you can't do a full pull-up yet, try to find a bar where you can reach out without lifting your feet off the ground. That means that you're going to use your lower body for assistance, jumping off the ground with your feet and try to do a negative down as you descend. That's going to build a lot of muscles in your back and that's going to create a real challenge for your overall body. Go as slow as you can on the way down, then jump back on the way up. If you can do that, then move on to a resistance band pull-up and decrease the size of the band as you get stronger. You would just attach the band to the bar, then pull it down and put your foot in there so that it assists you to get up. And if a normal high overhead pull-up is not in your arsenal yet, you can also start with Australian pull-ups, the little decline pull-ups where you just find a low bar like a dip bar and then start you with your body inclined to the floor and you lift up like this and you build up until you feel that you're strong enough to do a dead hang. And once you get there, then you start with dead hang. You grab the pull-up bar and you try to hang for as long as you can. You secure your lats, you make sure that they're really nice and engaged as you hold, and you build up from there. Now let's move on to the dips. Dips are very hard, and just like for the pull-ups, you would start on a dip bar with your feet on the floor, and then you use your legs to jump up and control the negative down. Make sure that all your triceps and chest get really nice and tight, and then repeat that motion. Go slow on the way down, fast on the way up. And if you can't do those assisted dip bar yet, you can also start with the box dips. You just use a bench or a box, put your hands behind you and go up and down as long as you can and make sure that those triceps feel the pump. And once you're strong enough with the box dips, you move on to the assisted dip bar. Now let's talk about squats. Lower body is essential and everybody should be able to do a squat. And if you can't do a proper full squat yet, same thing as the dips, you would start with the box or a bench. So you put the bench right behind you and then you descend in your squat, touch the box with your butt and come back up once you've touched the box. Repeat that and lower the height of the box as you get stronger. So you might start with a support that's a little bit higher than your knee level, for example. And once you get stronger, you get a support that's lower than your knee level so that you get more flexion in your knee. Once you get better at this, you just ditch the box altogether and start doing real squats. Now let's not forget about the abs. The core is an absolute essential body part and there's no way to skip it. So start with a hollow body on the floor. The hollow body is an essential calisthenics move and you can't skip it. Lay on the floor, bring your knees up and you can bend them in a 90-degree angle as long as you can hold your legs off the floor. Hold that position as long as you can. And once you get comfortable with this, then you start to add leg extensions. So from bented knees, you go to extended legs. And there's sections in the middle, right? So if you're here, then maybe your next step is here, then here, etc., until your legs get fully extended, and make sure that your entire muscle chain in there gets tight and together. So there you are. We covered a lot of exercises that will help you get started. Even if you can't do the full movements yet, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement, and you can get started today, right now. We just talked about how to build muscle with calisthenics, and that will boost your metabolism. So your muscle mass is essential, but let's not forget that we need to talk about the calorie game as well. If you have weight to lose, you need to be in a calorie deficit. You've probably heard it before, but that's a crucial step in the game. It simply means that you need to consume fewer calories that your body burns daily. First, you need to calculate your calorie baseline. And to determine your calorie needs, you just need to know what your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. That's the minimum calories that your body needs to just function every day. And it depends if you're a man or a woman, but there's a formula to calculate that. I'll put it in the link below. And once you get that number, you just adjust it depending on your activity level, if you're very active or less active. That will eventually give you a number of calories that you should aim at consuming so that you can reduce your weight over time. Once you've created a calorie deficit, you need to keep it for long enough, but not too long. So aim for a calorie deficit that's between 300 and 500 calories. That's a rough number, but it usually works. Stay within a healthy bracket and don't do it for too long. 4 to 12 weeks is usually a good idea, because if you do it too long, then it starts to be counterproductive. So include refeed days to help regulate your hormones and prevent metabolic slowdown. So we talked about building muscles, creating a calorie deficit, but now let's really not forget about cardio. There's really a very, very crucial thing, which is running. So ditch all the machines, the elliptical bike, the treadmill, and the indoor bikes, because running is a natural human movement. We need to incorporate moderate to high intensity runs into our routine so that it creates an amazing fitness boost. So go for a run. Start at your level. Even if you can't run, just go for a walk. Start with 1 mile walk every other day, or 2 to 3 times a week. That's a great way to gradually increase your cardio and speed up your pace as you get stronger. Some days you'll feel fast, some days not at all, and that's cool. No matter what, the consistency is what matters. So if you're not fast one day, it really doesn't matter as long as you go. So make sure that you know how to run. I'll put a link below to another article that I wrote on how to get better at running as well. Now, a little add-on here when it comes to cardio. I recommend that you also start to implement jump rope in your routine. Start with it in your warm-ups before your workouts. It works like wonder. It will boost your body like nothing else. And even if you're not really coordinated and can't do full jump rope yet, just mimic the jump rope. Imagine you're jumping rope even if you don't have a rope in your hands. That's really, really good to build stamina, to build resistance in your joint. So go for it. If you're overweight, don't do it for too long to save your knees, but get started nonetheless to just create a little bit of bounce, and from there progress and work your way up. Now let's finish with a factor that a lot of people underestimate, and that's the importance of community. You need to build up a network around you that shares your passion, that shares your motivation, and that supports you in your journey. Invite friends, invite family members, even co-workers, whoever it is that is supportive around you and that helps you structure your day around your fitness goals. So don't forget about your community. Be the inspiration. If you don't have anybody around you that does workout, you can be the first. It always starts with somebody. Be that person and inspire others around you. So with all of these techniques, you will lose weight and you will get great at calisthenics, I guarantee. Calisthenics is a great way to start losing weight. It's a powerful way to get healthy and a lot stronger than you think. So if you're ready to get started and take your training to the next level, I have a lot of different programs that are waiting for you. So join Online Calisthenics to train with me, and I'll see you in the next video.